Hello and welcome everybody to this edition of Unscripted. Uh, Today we're going to talk about service logistics. This is an area which is of a great interest in the industry today, and it's a new, recently coined terminology coined by Oracle and Oracle ecosystem. We will structure this conversation. It's not a structured conversation, but it is more about what the industry is all about, what it means to the industry, and how it plays an important role for the various industries in the world out there. I am joined by a few experts in the field today. Sudeep, if you can just touch upon specific industry related topics in terms of business process, uh, that'll help the conversation to paint a picture about how these business processes are um, important to specific industries. Now, I was curious to know if there are any specific nuances that you would like to talk about.
Yeah, sure, Sridhar. I think I can talk about an high-tech customer here, Sridhar, where we are doing an implementation for them. It's a tester equipment division, and typically the high-tech equipments are finished goods, and you have boards within the finished goods. So the process begins where the reverse logistic process begins where the customer encounters issues with the boards, and they put in a ticket or a service request, and the service request is processed. We have built solutions around where there is entitlement checks with the customer. There are agreements, service contracts on these boards, validity of a specific duration of support for these boards. And if the board fails within that specific warranty or a contract, these boards are replaced free of cost, right? Or if the board fails post warranty or post contract, there is a customer PO that is expected in those situations, right? So these are the typical flows where the board gets failed, and the board is reported on the service request, and an entitlement check happens. The IB validity is looked at, the hierarchy is looked at, and post which, based on the agreement with the customer, it goes through the entire cycle of repair and return. In case of it's a repairable FRU, you process it through the repair and return cycle. If the board, you have a product which kind of gives you an upgrade for those boards, and if we can do checks in our inventory if there is an on-hand availability for a certain products which can substitute that board. So you can look at those boards and you can replace it and you can do a part exchange. So there are various flows that processes that we are looking at, and we have built solutions around each of these processes. um, in case of board replacement or board repairs, we use the part exchange, repair and return. There are scenarios we also are modeled where we have modeled different service activity codes. In case of standard exchange, you send a board to the customer so that the customer's business is not impacted. In a case where you ship the boards out first before you even receive the faulty or the defective board. So, and in case of advanced exchange, that's where you bring value to the customer, and you make sure the business continuity is there in spite of the board being failed at the customer location. So we have modeled other scenarios where you have certain spare parts being made available to customer through the parts only processing, where you ship out the parts to the customer locations, and they are in their inventory and as spares, right? Apart from this, if there are cases where field engineers are expected, we have modeled solutions where the field engineers go to on-site to these customer locations for installations, right? So these equipments take sufficient time for installations. These are big equipments, and they take somewhere between 9 weeks to 6 months for implement or for installation these products. So the field engineers are on site. We have model solutions where multiple techs from different departments are involved and execute the installations. We capture these installations in field applications, and field service engineers can report hours, log hours against those work, and they are captured in OTL. We are using leveraging Oracle time and labor to capture these debrief hours that are logged by the techs, and we are build reports on dashboards to give visibility to businesses. So these are some of the processes that we have built. Apart from this, we are also built solutions on various point solutions, or what we can say is extensions on Oracle Fusion Cloud, where we are bringing more value to business. In case of field engineers or field installations, we are looking at capturing certain specific dates, like installation dates, where we take the installation dates all the way to IB, install base, and through IB we are pushing those install dates to subscription. That's when the subscription warranties kick in. Generally, these warranties get or get started only post installation, and that's how we have modeled point integrations or point solutions to cater to business here. Apart from field service, we have developed certain other solutions within the B2B service and depot repair, where we have leveraged deep links functionality to give visibility to repair centers on the service request UIs. So there is a plethora of custom fields or custom data that has been captured, which business wanted in terms of data logs, or in terms of quality issues, or the quality related aspects for those boards. So those all those fields are made visible to the repair center. The attachment functionalities where the customer can upload data logs of how the product has been behaving, all those visibility has been given to repair center for them to quickly take action and proactively look at those data points to progress and repair those work orders. Apart from that, we have developed few more solutions around subscription, where we are giving them visibility of different statuses on the service request. When the service manager puts in a service request on behalf of customer, we are looking at the entitlement check, and we have made use of custom statuses to give them visibility. We've written groovy scripts to look for active contracts, and flip the status to awaiting defective or awaiting logistics, to give them that control of supply chain. And there could be some kind of checks that service managers can do based on these business events that gets triggered. Right. So some of these enhancements can be leveraged, and these are the point solutions can be leveraged by business, and that's how we have gone ahead and deployed these solutions in our at a customer location. Sridhar.
Very good. So that brings up a point. Let's say the reverse logistics has been applied to varied set of industries. Inspirage, it's by itself has come up with a number of solutions, and we have applied it to various industries. And I think you touched upon this high tech industry. The other industry where we have got sort of a wide acceptance, and we've done extensive work in this space, is in the repair and overall business in automotive and extended automotive industry. So, in that context, Pradeep, if you could share some of your thoughts on the kind of work that we have done in that space in general, and then specifically, if you want to point out a few examples, that will be very helpful for us. Please go ahead, Pradeep.
Yeah, so we have developed a solution for one of us in the Saudi region, for one of the automobile company, a company which was primarily into sales and service of the automobile vehicle, passenger vehicles. We were primarily looking into the body shop and paint work. We have made extensive use of the CX right now cloud, and the past solution we have developed for them for the repair management at the workshop. Once the sale has been made for a customer vehicle, the parent company used to send us the data for all their customers and the related vehicles to them. This information we were storing in the on the CX side, and whenever a customer calls to us to a call center for any repair or any free service or any maintenance related work, the call center people used to pull up this information on so there was a integration done with the telephonic system. As soon as the call lands up, they can get the information on the screen about this customer and his service history. So they can primarily see when the customer has last visited, what kind of service he has taken from you, okay, and what is the desired service he probably is looking for, okay. We have also provided them a guest portal or a customer portal where instead of making a call, customer can also directly log in and make the request from there, okay. He can build his own profile. He can keep a profile of his vehicles, and if he wants to take an appointment with any of the centers in the region, he can go and choose the appointment slots he can take. He can see which slots are empty, which slots are full, what kind of service can be achieved through these appointments, okay. So he can take appointment directly from there. He will get a SMS once the appointment is confirmed for him. He can take that based on that appointment, then he goes and visits the center. Once he visits the center, the service advisor will visit him. The information he just have to share his QR code with the advisor. Service advisor can scan then that QR code, and he can bring up the information about that customer on his screen. He sees the information related to customer, his ID, his licenses, his vehicle detail. Okay, he can discuss with the customer what kind of service he's looking for. Okay, so if he has taken an appointment for a body repair, typically they will go and do a survey of the vehicle, quick survey of the vehicle, and this from the CX itself, we have given a provision for them, for the service advisor to go and do the estimation of what can be the cost that customer will incur if he has to go through service. So they will typically generate an estimate which tells them what kind of labor is required, what parts will be required, whether the parts are available with us or not, and what will be the promise date if the vehicle has to be repaired and delivered. What can be the promise date? There is an engine which was developed which calculates the based on the requirement of the labor and the parts. It does the calculation. It tells you what can be the possible promise date that you can promise to your customers. Once these estimations are done, if the customer is coming for through the insurance companies, we send these estimates to the insurance company for the approval. Now, there was a portal also developed using the CX itself where insurance company can directly log in and see the estimates. So they don't have to depend on emails or phone channels. They can directly log in and see what are the daily requests they have for the approval. They can open and then see what kind of repair has been requested. If they have to do the modifications, they can do the modifications and send it back to the service centers. Okay, they can approve it and then tell what is the approved amount for doing the repair. Once these approvals are done, we are sending the alerts to the customer. They can go in the customer portal and see whether the insurance company has done the approval for them or not, and to the what limit these approvals are done. Once these approvals are done, then the PAS solution comes in picture over here, where these job cards are created from CX and sent to the WMS, which is the local name we are given to this PAS solution. This is the workshop management system, which was developed as a PAS solution. Here again, we are dealing with the repair inside the workshop, management of the repair inside the workshop. So inside the workshop, you have the service lanes. Okay, each of these service lanes has a different capacity. So let's say you have a service lane for doing the quick service, whereas there is other lane which can only take care of the body repair. There's a third lane which can take care of your paintings, or the fourth lane which can take care of your mechanical work. Each of these has the capacities assigned to them. Throughout the day, probably they can the painting can take only 2 cars, or the body line can take 3 to 4 cars. Okay, so based on this once the job lands in, it is auto assigned to a particular group, to a particular swim lane. Okay, and then the individual chiefs of these lanes, they can then do the technician planning. So they can decide, they can break down the work, and then they can do the daily productive plan for a technician. Okay, now based on this daily productive plan which they do on the daily basis for the technicians, we have developed a mobile application. Okay, this is an Android app which can be downloaded by a technician on their mobile phone. So you don't need a separate device on their individual mobile phones. They just have to connect to the company network and download this application, login. And once he log in, he can see what is the work that he has to do throughout the day. So he will have the prioritized work. Okay, he just has to pick up the work. Once it is picked up, other if the same if that car has to go through a 2 to 3 operations. Once the first operation is picked up, that is assigned to that technician, no other technician can take up that work. Okay, that's where the dependency was built up. So technician can then do the logging on, logging off, clocking, doing do the time in and out for his work. Okay, once this is completed, then he can mark that work as completed. Then it goes to the quality checks. So we have built up again the same mobile application was built up for the quality person also. So he has the list of quality checks. He can open in the app, and then he can say which ones are okay and which ones are not okay. And if he's not okay, he can send that back to the rework, again assign it back to the technician. Technician has to then work on it and reassign it back to the quality person. We have also built up in the same application, in the mobile application, a way to track the work in process. So the chief of the workshop or the controller, he can open this app and he can see the actual status of the work which is being currently getting the where exactly the car is, at which bay, and at which operation currently it is. Okay, he has the option wherein he can reassign the work based on the technician load. So if he finds that the particular vehicle is getting delayed and they are not able to meet the promised delivery date, either they can communicate back directly to their service advisors through the app and tell them that there is a prospective delay expected, and this delay can then be communicated back to customer, or he can reassign this job to another set of technician to make sure that it is completed within the scheduled time. He also have an option in this app to look at the status of the inventory. He can see what items or what parts are required to repair this car. Okay, based on that, he can place a request with the parts team to get these parts. He can also make the purchase of the bought out items using the same app. It goes to the controller where he can review the job card, and then he can say it is ready for delivery or it is ready for generating the invoice. Service advisor can then see the status. So service advisor has access within CX, and the same information is getting populated to your guest portal also, where customer can also log in and see what is the current status of the vehicle, where exactly in the flow the vehicle is today. Yeah? And the service advisor, once it is ready for invoicing, he can generate a pro forma and give it to the customer, and customer can then do the online payment directly going into the online portal. Okay, or if he wants to bring that invoice and make the payment at the desk, he can do that. He also has the option to take a delivery appointment. So he doesn't have to just go walk into center. He can take a delivery appointment. He can decide on the time when he wants to walk in and take the vehicle. Once he takes a delivery appointment, the same information goes to your service advisor. He can then plan the delivery by doing the washing and keeping the car ready into the delivery area, so that once the customer walks in, he can simply show the QR code to him that the payment has already been done.
That's a lot of that's a lot of functionality and lot of solutioning that we've built. Uh, uh, Thank you, Pradeep, for your thoughts. I think hope we have given you a bird's eye view of what the service logistics means for us, and a set of business processes that it supports, and the application sets that Oracle offers, and also the solutions that we've built and we are building currently. And we hope to be very, very successful in this space. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.